speaking to you 1st of October 2020, just as I'm going along here to do a bit of electrical work. And 1st of October is a bit of a milestone for me today, because exactly this time last year, 1st of October 2019, I was literally leaving to go on a fabulous trip to Bali. And it'd be like this time last year, literally in about 3 hours time, the taxi would be coming to take me to the airport to go on that massive flight to Bali. And I had a wonderful time over there. And kind of the memories of it has kind of been partly what's been sort of getting me through this year a little bit. My oh my, you know how times have changed just in that last year that we've had. I never in my wildest dreams did I sort of think that now I'd be in a position where I can't even go to Bali. It'd be impossible to go there right now. That I don't think there's any flights going there. I don't think Bali is accepting any tourists at the moment, and it's sort of on the kind of off list as far as our government's concerned as well. So there's no way I could go to Bali, even though I'd love to, because I want to go back there again, and hoping to go back there in the next year or two. Although the way things are going, it's kind of starting to look a bit doubtful when I'll be able to go back there. But anyway, yeah, and this is a funny little story. I can honestly say I've never, right from day one, I've never ever been even in the slightest bit worried for my own sort of personal safety as far as COVID-19 is concerned. It hasn't scared me in the slightest, and I can honestly say that. But this is ironic. It's not that I'm some sort of real gung-ho person, and this is a little story that will make you laugh, because for about 10 years, up until last year, I had a bit of a fear of flying, to be quite honest with you. And in a 10-year period, the phobia was so bad that in a 10-year period, between 2009 and 19, I literally only went on sort of 2 flights, and one of them I had to go on the flight because it was a wedding in Copenhagen of a relative, so I wouldn't have gone on that flight otherwise. And then the other one we decided just to, because I'd got a new passport in 2014, thought I wanted to use it, so we went on a nice little holiday to Austria, the Austrian Tyrol. So both of those was pretty short flights, so just 2 short return flights is all I did in the entire 10-year period. And I got over the phobia throughout 2018 and last year, really by kind of immersing myself in the world of aviation. I just started watching loads and loads of programs about flying, about aviation, about the aviation industry. There's a program on Amazon Prime called Ice Pilots, which is about this fantastic company in northern Canada who do all sorts of flying around in these old aircraft, but they've got a sort of a really good viable operation using these old aircraft. Yeah, that's a really good program to watch. But I watched loads of other things as well, and gradually, because I was kind of immersed in that world, I just sort of found my fear of flying sort of just dissipating and going away, until I got to the stage where I could go on this massive great flight to Bali. You know, when you go to Bali from England, you're in the air for 17 hours, and it's 2 flights. It's not really any flights that go directly to Bali. You have to change, so there's 2 lots of takeoffs, 2 lots of landings, kind of each way. And then I got back from Bali, and only about a month later I went on another quite long flight to Tenerife. for a golf weekend with my brother and a mate as well, and that's a 4-hour flight. So I think in just a sort of 2-month period I did sort of 42 hours in the air, which is probably more than what some part-time pilots do, to be quite honest with you. So there's nothing like curing a fear than just immersing yourself in that fear or in the world of that fear, and then you kind of just find the fear draining away. And because I sort of conquered that fear, it's helped me with the whole COVID-19 thing. It's just, unless it starts happening to you personally, there's not really any point in worrying about it. Take sensible precautions. I probably still wouldn't fly with some dodgy airline with a poor safety record, but as long as you go with a reputable airline, which is pretty much all the main ones you've heard of, there's not going to be a problem. Or you'd have to be extraordinarily unlucky for there to be a problem for you personally, and that's the same thing with COVID. You've got to be extraordinarily unlucky, unless you're sort of elderly, very elderly, or got some sort of horrible illness already, and even then you've still got to be quite unlucky to die of COVID, especially now. Probably back in April the odds were a bit higher for those people, but now when there's hardly anyone dying of it, you've got to be extraordinarily unlucky. And I just find it so ironic, just kind of pretty much as soon as I got myself sorted out and conquered my fear of flying, sort of half the world or most of the world went out and got themselves a fear of COVID, thanks to the blimmin' media, mainstream media, and their fear of COVID is what is now preventing me from pretty much flying anywhere, because of all the restrictions. I could fly somewhat to places, but it's so dodgy at the moment, isn't it? You sort of book a flight and then you find the place you're going to, there's something on the quarantine list or whatever. And also, I'm not going to wear a mask for a great long flight either. When you think about it, say you're going on a nice little flight to Portugal, say, you'd have to literally pretty much be in a mask all the time, from stepping into the taxi outside your house, all the way through the airport, on the plane, through the airport the other side, the taxi at the other end, checking in at the hotel at the other end, and only when you got to your hotel room, pretty much, would you be able to sort of take the mask off. And I'm not going to do that until this sort of nonsense is all over and done with. But I find that's just an ironic story that I thought I'd tell you. So I'll sort of end the video there. I'm not really sure what the point of this story is, apart from just venting a bit of frustration and illustrating really how much we've lost since this time last year, when if you had the money, at least you could step on a plane and have a fabulous holiday in Bali. And now you're lucky if you can sort of have a decent breakaway in this country. But anyway, just some food for thought. Talk to you later.